Hey guys, this is Aubrey from Muttley Plans. I hope everybody had a good week. Any noises you may hear are courtesy of Velcro. Went ahead and put her photo up there. Figured you could at least enjoy how cute she is if you don't enjoy her antics. Anyway, so I am back using this wild flower Agenda 52 booklet of stickers, but you'll see a couple of different sticker booklets that I use throughout this spread this week. I decided my theme for this week would be vintage. I have a ton of and you'll see them. I'm gonna put them down, but I guess these like cardstock cutout vintage like TV, tape cassette, recorder type deals. I really don't know what to call them. Maybe die cuts. Anyway, yeah, so I got a lot of those from a pen pal a few months ago, and they are so cool. They actually remind me of when I was growing up, which makes me feel old. But anyway, yeah, so I really wanted to use them. I just hadn't had a time to use them. And as I was thinking about it last week, I got this really good idea to a really good idea of what I could do for the TVs because the TV screen was hollowed out. So you'll actually see what I came up with here in a little bit. But for right now, I'm currently, in case you can't tell, putting on some sticker washi strips from that Agenda 52 booklet that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And I went ahead, and I don't usually put one at the top, but if I have some skinny tape that'll fit at the top and not mess with the timeline, then I'll put it there. And I noticed that there was some of that. So, like I was trying to explain earlier, this was the idea that I'm working on right here in this bottom right corner. I basically took a sticker that I had, and it's that like vintagey floral world, and I just cut it down to where it would fit the open window of that TV, and I put it down, and then I put the TV over it, and I thought it looked so cute. I I actually really enjoyed this overall theme. Even though as we get into it, you'll see this week was not necessarily my week, but it kind of was my week. I am very blessed, but it was definitely very emotionally draining this week for me. But before everything happened, on Sunday when I was, setting this up, uh, I really was enjoying like getting to put these items to use that I'd had in my stash for months and hadn't been able to use. Of course, there was a little bit of dog hair there, had to get it out. These are kind of like a hard cardstock paper for this TV and everything. And so I did have to use some double-sided tape instead of, a glue stick or anything like that. But that worked really well. So, and like I said, I really enjoyed how this entire theme turned out. I went ahead and for the next couple of weeks decided I was going to choose a theme that would go with like things that I already have or a sticker book that I already have. And that would be my quote unquote theme of the week. That's whatever the colors of that booklet are the colors that I will make my spreads around. And so I'm pretty excited about that, especially knowing how well this spread for this week turned out. So this is like the basic setup. My sidebar is pretty much going to be the same as it's been in the past couple of weeks. I'm going to put my budget up on that top rung, and then that bottom rung is going to wind up being YouTube things. So my YouTube checklist, and then the space below that 8 p.m. line, because I am almost always in bed by 8 p.m. these days, that will be reserved for my tasks. And I am so sorry, you probably hear the snoring. Just remember, she is very, very cute. Goodness. Anyway, so this Agenda 52 book is just the regular budget book. If you've seen a couple of my videos, then you know I have definitely started making a pretty big effort to get on top of my finances, especially after my car bit the dust a month ago. So I've made a point to make spending habits and my payoff progress for my car and credit cards a priority, which I am happy to report that I only have $600 left on my car that is broken. So super excited about that. That was a pretty big accomplishment this week. If anything, having my car die on me has taught me, quite a bit of things about finances. One, I just haven't been trying hard enough in my life to get out of debt. I was able to put $1,400 toward my car this week alone after I got paid and everything. Part of that is because my husband and I are such a great team, and he was able to take a little bit more of the joint financial load while I pay off my car. But the other part of it is that my spending has gone down quite a bit, and that has, surprise, opened up a lot more funds for me to pay off my car. So I am pretty confident that, after all of this with the car is done with, I have absolutely no reason for me to still be in credit card debt by the end of 2025. So, silver lining, if you will. It still stinks that my car broke down, but it wound up being a blessing, so I won't complain. Moving on. So, same old for YouTube. I did decide that I was going to do an unboxing because at this point, I knew that I was going to get my birthday present because my birthday was March 4th. I knew that I was going to get a Twisby Espresso bronze, which I did an unboxing video. I believe it released on Thursday, the 6th of March. But my husband he's just awesome. Not to brag or anything, but he's pretty amazing. Anyway, he bought me the Twisby Espresso for my birthday. And it was so cool, actually, because the Twisby Espresso, as you can see, I obviously spared no time before starting to use it. But anyway, he bought me the Twisby Espresso. Well, a couple weeks ago, he had decided that he really liked my Mahjong A1 that I use. It's the black clicky fountain pen that looks a lot like a Violet Vanishing Point. And so he had bought himself a couple weeks ago a Mahjong A1. And they both came in on the same day, so it was so much fun. We got to spend a little time together, and he looked through all of my inks and chose an ink that he would like, and it was really neat. I appreciate that he's dipping his toe into my hobby. So it was pretty special on the third. It was a really great birthday gift. Not only did I get the Twisby Espresso Bronze, but I also got the gift of like just getting to watch him enjoy his first fountain pen. So, but anyway, yeah, Monday the highlight was definitely us getting our fountain pens. And one thing that did happen on Monday, because me and my husband were carpooling at the beginning of this week, like we have been for the past month, almost a month. But anyway, we did have to take his truck to the shop because its check engine light was on. And they looked at it and they were like, oh, it's only gonna be like, a $500 fix. It's fine. No biggie. And so they wanted to keep it overnight. And he was like, no, like, we're kind of having only one car between me and my wife. So, like, can I bring it in on Thursday? And they didn't really like that idea, but they were like, I mean, I guess. So he made an appointment to take the truck in on Thursday, and we just kind of, kept on keeping on like we usually do. So that was kind of like the first thing that was like, and then on my birthday, I did decide. So March 4th was my birthday. On my birthday, I did decide that I wanted to, start looking around more seriously for, my a car, because I knew like within 2 weeks I would have everything paid off and everything. So we started looking. We didn't find anything on the 4th, but we did find something on the 5th. I am happy to report I now am the proud owner of a 2023 Nissan Rogue. What sold me on it was the remote start. Not gonna lie. Because it's so much nicer when it's freezing outside, to not have to go out and, start a cold vehicle and stuff. So, pretty great. It's the little things in life. But anyway, so we did start car shopping on the 4th. So I actually didn't get to, I didn't video all of this, like the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday, until Thursday evening, because I had been so busy car shopping, and we pretty much were out every every evening after work and everything. And so I'll be honest, the next 3 days, like in this little clip, is pretty discombobulated. I was exhausted come Thursday, and everything, just because car buying's stressful. Like, you go in with a budget and people try to like talk you out of the budget and all sorts of stuff, and so like you're always having to be on guard, more so than usual with people. And it's also a very big like decision to buy a car. And so yeah, it was exhausting between me and my husband, having to go shopping and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, I was so exhausted on Thursday that I didn't even catch that I completely got my days mixed up. So yeah, I got my days mixed up. Wednesday is supposed to be on Thursday, and then what I plan for Thursday is supposed to be on Wednesday. So yeah, sorry guys. Tuesday is correct though. Anyway, so as you can see, to catch up, still using that Agenda 52 booklet. I do have a butterfly booklet that I got for Christmas from my mom. I think she got it off of Amazon. And anyway, so that's kind of all the stickers I've been using. That nap sticker that I used to mark in nap time. is from Brianne Nicole Designs. That clean car sticker is from Planner Kate. And then I couldn't even tell you what color Tombow that is. So, and it's about here, I believe, where I realized that, yep, right there. I was like, oh man. And at that point, I was like, I'm too tired to even think of a way to fix this. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. And so I did. So, but Wednesday was the day that I bought my Rogue. And then, so I guess Tuesday's all messed up as well. Because I did not buy my Rogue on the 4th. I bought it on the 5th. And then Thursday was the day that all sorts of things happened. We turned my old Kia Soul in because it was used as a trade-in. Luckily, I was able to get a little bit of money for it as a trade-in. It's amazing what car salesmen will pay for a broken down car when you buy a car from them. But anyway, also on Thursday, we did take Kelvin's truck in. And of course, they called and they were like, so we actually found another thing. Your radiator needs to be replaced. And so literally the day after I had bought my car, Kelvin's truck got to stay in the shop until Saturday, today when I'm actually doing this voiceover. We just got back from picking it up. So it went from it'll be a $500 fix to yeah, that'll be $2,200 now. So, very stressful for us because, I mean, obviously my car going downhill, then me having to buy a car. Anyway, we have a season of car troubles that is hopefully over for a long time now. But overall, we're still pretty blessed. The push at the very beginning of this year and the end of last year, for that matter, to be more financially prepared paid off, literally, for all this. And so we are definitely very blessed. But after I realized my mistake, I lost all want to plan, and so I just wrote in too tired to plan, and then I threw a bunch of stickers on it, and we just won't talk about it again until I do my March flip through. So, but I mean, it is what it is. So today's Saturday. I didn't get a chance to plan on Friday, and so this is me on Saturday coming in and back planning, and then I'm gonna future plan for Sunday and all that jazz. But definitely in a much better mental state now that we've kind of got hopefully all of the car stuff behind us. But Friday I'm still exhausted. But Friday, I actually covered a tennis match for my second job, my part-time job at a small university where I live, because I am an athletic trainer. And it was about 6 hours. So I worked a full day. I got off of work and I went straight to covering the tennis match. And I didn't get done until 10. So it was a nice little 14, 15-hour day for me. And I don't know. I'm very lucky. Like, I'm very tired today because, who doesn't want to just go home and crash after they work a lot? But yeah, very blessed. So Friday was just work. Saturday, we actually got to wake up whenever we wanted to, which was about 8. And then we had coffee on the couch and relaxed, which was nice because we hadn't really gotten any relaxing time together over the week. So that was really nice. We got to go to our local farmers market. And then we also went to look at Joanne's, but I was like, I'm not going to write that down. Who wants to hear that? But in case you didn't know, Joanne's is going out of business, and so all of the sales are happening. And so we definitely went to Joanne's to look and everything, look around. And after that, we tried a new spot called Bricktown Brewery. And then we picked up Kelvin's truck. I came home and I was exhausted and cold because it's cold and rainy here in Oklahoma. So I took a bath and just kind of relaxed, watched YouTube videos, and did a little bit of journaling, caught up in my planner. And that's the plan for the rest of this Saturday, honestly, is just to relax and hang out with the girls. We do have 4 dogs: Elvira, Velcro, Ethel, and Macy. And so I'll be hanging out with them, hanging out with Kelvin, and just kind of enjoying my Saturday. So I really, that booklet, that's that butterfly booklet my mom got me off of Amazon. I don't know the name of it, but it's got really awesome washi tape stickers. I've really been enjoying like the vintage theme and the pressed flowers and stuff like that. And so, yeah, if you are buying from Amazon, or even, I think I've even seen some booklets like that on AliExpress, but if you're buying from Amazon, then you can get that booklet off of Amazon. If you're not, I've definitely seen similar booklets that are available on places like AliExpress, YouTube, or not YouTube, wow, Temu, wrong T, Temu, and Etsy. Etsy has some as well. So 10 out of 10, I definitely recommend. I've really been enjoying them. They're pretty quality stickers, and they don't bulk up your planner quite as much, so that's always a win. Anyway, so for Sunday, the plan is we are going to volunteer at church, and then I go to my part-time job again. Yay! I've got another tennis match that I'll be covering. I don't really know what time I will be done, so I just kind of guesstimated when it would be done. We'll find out how accurate my guess is. But I'm honestly not going to complain about any extra work I can get because I want to get out of debt. It's a real want now. So yeah. Anyway, after that, I was basically done. And so I just wanted to put a few florals in there to kind of fill the space a little bit. I've really been enjoying not doing the little quarter boxes or half boxes in all of my spreads, because when I do, I tend to want to use a little box for everything, and then I just, yeah, it looks bulky. I don't know how to explain it. It looks very congested. There you go. Whereas if I'm just putting these little accent flowers and butterflies and stuff like that, it doesn't seem near as cluttered. And it's a lot easier for me to look and see what I did. So I've really been enjoying that. At the bottom, I didn't really want all of that white space, so I went ahead and I looked through this little butterfly washi tape booklet and picked down a few things that I thought would go down at the bottom. I wound up picking those scripts, and then I think I switched to the wildflower booklet for Agenda 52. and picked out like, I think like a bouquet of flowers, or a bouquet of flowers in a vase. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Just to kind of fill in that one little area. And then I added some butterflies down at the bottom because, you know, up above that line is basically a bunch of florals and butterflies. Probably not quite the vintagey theme that I started out with, you know, between the TV and the cassette and all that, but I mean, is what it is. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and if you would, hit the subscribe button. Bye.